Hi YouTube, it's Tracy from Queen of the Board, and today I am venturing out into uncharted space with Unsettled from Orange Nebula Games. This is a cooperative survival adventure game, but instead of fighting bad guys, I'm just trying to stay alive up against the different environments I'll find on the various planets we come across. The base game comes with 2 planets, but there are many more out there to explore. And so the first planet is Wenora, and we're going to try Survival Challenge A. Come and join me. Each planet comes with a travel log, and Wenora is no different. So let's set the scene and take a look at what we're up against. Icky, sticky, and beautiful. When we left Earth in such a bizarre, wondrous new world, this is exactly what we imagined. The circumstances are a bit more catastrophically on the verge of death than anticipated, but awe in the face of uncertainty is the essence of exploration. Strange, gargantuan fungal formations tower above us, swarming with alien creatures and dripping with bright liquids. Surfaces are covered in a mysterious powdery substance. The air is thick, almost gelatinous, and there's an uncomfortable abundance of toxic-looking tendrils and suction cups. It couldn't be more alien. It took almost an hour of low-orbit scanning just to find a place to land. So dense is the fungal vegetation. With a world this full, it's impossible to imagine we won't find the things we need to survive. Whether those things kill us is another question entirely. Let's go touch stuff. Okay, fantastic. I love it. The writing in this game is fabulous. It's so good. And so every planet has a travel log, and it will just point out a few different little special setups you might have. The main one for Wenora is the toxic spore clouds. Toxic spores cover the surface of the planet. Your movements will agitate them, stirring up a nasty fungal cloud. When an explorer leaves a node, and a node is a location, add a spore cloud to the node they just left. When an explorer starts their turn, if there is a spore cloud on their node, they gain 1 distress. And I'll tell you right now, we don't want distress. If you get too many, you might start getting hallucinations. And distress clog up your action board. But before we get into that, maybe I should give you a little tour of what's happening on the table, because there's quite a lot to see. So here we have the planet in front of us, as yet unexplored. And we're starting off on the ship, the Scarab, over here. We know that there is a swampy quagmire, but we don't know yet how that's going to interact with us during the game on Wenora. Here is the setup card in case you're interested. I have my 2 explorer boards all set up. My action dice here set to 2 pips each. I have my resource board, my time and trust board. Over here, this was kind of exciting. This is the breakthrough board. So if I get breakthroughs in awareness, I can build a research hut and gain a breakthrough card. If I gain a breakthrough in wonder, I get a laboratory, in energy, a workshop. And I also have an ability here for Luna, who is our beautiful little robot helper traveling with us across the realms of space. And so I can use her to try and remove what we call a distress. We don't want distress. 2 or more distress, we get hallucinations. Now, I'm guessing that's probably not great, but I'm also kind of curious to find out. The final board is the moment board up here. And so we will be able to investigate and find opportunities on the planet. And again, that might result in some really cool stuff, but you never know. Here's a quick reference card for my actions. And here's a quick reference card for the iconography in the game. Now, this is not a rules teach video. There's lots of great ones on YouTube for that. Instead, I just want to get stuck in. Let me know in the comments when I do make mistakes, and also please turn on those Klingon captions, and later on I'll be updating them. I'm playing with 2 expansions today, so I've got scientific specializations added to my boards here. That means that later on I may be able to unlock some special skills. I also have the tiny expansion Luna's synthesizer. I don't know if that'll come into play, but potentially I could open up a location that allows Luna to potentially find more resources. So pretty cool. Let's play. And story text, early onset hangriness. I'm not going to read all of the story text to you. Basically, all you need to know is we're kind of starving, so hoping for some food on Wenora. The first challenge we have, it's fungal out there. So the first challenge is to construct the laboratory, the research hut, and the workshop on open build sites. So we're gonna have to find those first. So let's get out there and explore. I'm gonna use some little tiny markers of my own just to help me remember the actions. But the first thing I'm gonna do is move Luna. So she's gonna come out to here, which means we get to take a look at our first location, an Anthozoic forest. This has find respite, so I could potentially charge up one of my dice. And you can see right here that it's going to cost me a time, but it's going to give me an insight. And I think we'll start with our blue explorer. So I'm going to have the blue explorer move 1. That is going to cost a time, and they gain an insight. We are on our way. Next, Luna is going to scan the node, scan the location, and I get to choose for data or materials, and I think we'll have her do materials. She got 3, so that's fantastic. She doesn't get them straight away. Instead, we place them on the location, and then an explorer has the opportunity to collect them as an action. Next, I'm going to have my blue explorer, who is on this node location, actually pick up some of these materials. So I'm going to grab my green dice. This is my wonder dice, pip it down 1, pop it here, and I can pick up 1, 2 of the materials and add them to the stockpile. I think next I would love to investigate, because it is sort of a special power for me. Unfortunately, I've already used my green dice. I won't get this bonus, but I think I will use my blue and go to a 3. I can still investigate. I don't get the bonus. And so when we investigate, we grab one of these really big tokens, pop it on the location, and take a look at one of the opportunities. Ooh, we find screaming glow frogs. The screaming glow frogs. Before you sit dozens of small amphibious creatures, half submerged in a colourful pool. They are perfectly still, perfectly silent. They stare, unblinking. Then the screams begin. Immediately, each local explorer up-pips twice. So immediately each local explorer gets to up-pip dice, and I'm going to spend both of those on my green and put that to a 3. I could have spread that across other dice, but I'm choosing not to. I'm going to pop the glow frogs here, and this is an opportunity that we can choose to work with later on. I've got 1 dice left, and you always have to rest, so this one will go up 1 to a 3. And I have to spend a time. Next, it's over to the orange explorer. And first thing she's going to do is use her move action and join the gang. Unfortunately, she can't avoid this. She will gain an insight and again lose a time. So that's not great for us. Now let's move Luna again so that we can see some options for movement. She finds a spongy trumpet swamp. You'll notice that it's talking about if I have a fungal host, I get to use this soak up energy ability. But I can't tell you what that is yet, but I'm sure we'll come across it. Luna's going to scan her node, and this time I think we'll look for data. So she got a 1, and I'll pop that on her location. Luna collects the data, not us. I'm going to use my blue dice, move it down 1 here, which means I gain an insight. And I get to grab the glow frogs. I also gain another insight. Almost there. And let's take a look at our scientific anomaly. Close eyes and detonate. So I place this down. If I choose to discard it, I can charge my power up to maximum, which is kind of amazing, if I pip down one of my dice. There's also the orange symbol at the top of the card. That means I need the energy breakthrough to be able to use this, but hopefully we'll get that sooner rather than later, because I am going for the energy breakthrough over here. This is the orange one. I completed the opportunity, so this can go back over to here. And I do keep forgetting, but these tokens go on the spaces that have been explored and investigated. Stops you from doing it twice. Now, the tricky thing is that when I leave this tile, I'm going to leave a spore cloud behind me. But I don't think I want to avoid that. I'm going to go ahead and move. I'm going to use my orange, which actually pips it up 1 because I'm an optimist, and I get to move 1 node. So I'm going to go down to the south, and ooh, a field of hover blossoms. It's so pretty. This game is so pretty. I'm going to gain an insight. So I go up 1, and I found a location where I can actually build. Fantastic. However, because I left this node, I do have spores on the location. My last action will be to rest. So I'm going to use my green dice, pipping it up to a 3 and spending 1 time. Well, over to my blue explorer. Now, unfortunately, he's probably not very happy with my orange explorer because they've kicked up all this fungal cloud dust, and he's going to take a distress. Distress is right over here. He is infected. And I have to place this on my board. I'm going to cover up my recover action as I don't think I plan to use it. When gained, I move trust down 1. So we move to the black, and that means that our special abilities are going to flip. First of all, I'll pull my dice back from before. My leader flips, and now this is going to cover the rest action. My optimist flips, and that covers my recover action. So next I'm going to move my blue explorer, and we're going to have a look to the north. We find, an electromagnetic polypore maze. Wow. That gains me an insight and costs me a time. I'm going to move Luna to see what's in front of me. A Myxogastria ball pit. Now you can see that it would actually cost me 2 time to go that way. So I think I might want to come back around. So that was pretty good to check out. Luna is going to look for, I think, some data. We got a 3. I'm going to theorize. So I'm going to go down to a 2. And that means that another explorer also gains the insight. And whoop woo! Thank you very much. So that means we have a comprehension, which I grab from over here in energy. It's going to go to the top. I gain a breakthrough, perform augmented tank. And that is for my orange explorer. So for the cost of 1 power charge, I can gain up to 2 materials from a node or an adjacent node, which is huge. Really helpful, and that's once per turn. So that's a great ability to get. But I've also unlocked my micro grav shift ability here. So if I pip down, then this turn you may freely move resources between your node and one adjacent node. So that means it's just gonna be a lot easier to manage gathering resources. Super cool, love it a lot. So that was super nice of my blue explorer after gaining an infected distress. So we've got 2 dice left, one of which unfortunately was going to go into this leader spot, but I've got a green or an orange to use, and I think we will investigate. We'll go down to a 2 here, gaining another insight, and then I get to investigate. So I get to pop my blue out, and this time a skittish pentapod. A scampering in the undergrowth draws your attention to a wildly cautious 5-legged creature. The frailty of its build is impossible within known science. The slightest move to approach results in the creature's immediate and frantic retreat. Immediately, each local explorer without fungal host places themselves on an adjacent node. Oh, wow. Well, that's actually kind of amazing because that will get me out of this spot where it would have cost me a bunch of time. I'm being placed. I'm not moving through. So I'm going to come back. Oh, no. I'm going to come to here. There we go. I'll join Luna. I was thinking I want to avoid these spores. Speaking of which, I think I still leave some spores behind. Now, I've only got my 1 dice left, which has to go here. It would pip up, but instead, we're going to spend a time, which bumps us down 1 endurance. Time goes quickly. And another explorer gets to also pip up a dice, so I'm going to pip up this too. Now, bringing everything back. Over to orange. And I'm absolutely going to pip down here to build a workshop. So that's going to cost me 1 time if I don't have this particular comprehension, but I do, and so I'm going to get it for free at the end of my turn. Next, I think we'll investigate. So coming down to a 2, I gain 1 insight, and this time I'm going for wonder. So I place out the purple disc and we find an azure paste rift. A series of fleshy tubes peel open their tops, revealing pools of bright paste and emitting a strange energy. A mold-covered creature stops to investigate. When it touches the paste, it vanishes, reappearing moments later with a hardened crystalline shell and several companions. If they can do it, immediately gain 2 power. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now I've only got 1 dice left, so it's going to rest. It'll go to a 3 and cost me a time. I will move Luna. I think we should explore this way. Monolithic spore pillars. And I'm going to have her look for materials. 1. And I think I'm going to stay where I am because I have this opportunity to deal with. So we'll pause for there. And next we get to put out the workshop. This helps us propel Luna. That's 1 of the 3 built. Over to my blue adventurer. And first thing she'll do is move. She's going to move down here to the spongy trumpet swamp. I'm then going to traverse, which takes me down to a 2. Gains me an insight. I'm going to flip this, I think, to awareness. But I get my insight here. I get my breakthrough card, Discharge Hormonal Blast. Ooh, Discharge Hormonal Blast. An explorer within 1 node of you may take a standard traverse action for free. Thanks. And I think we're going to explore this way. We find glowing lichen caves. And that is another build site. And even better, it gets me 2 insights. I think we'll move Luna and see what's up here. A crystalline forest with a build location. We'll have Luna scan, I think, for data. She finds 2. I'm going to theorize, which gains us both 1 insight. And then I'm going to rest, bring me up to a 3 on green. Costs me a time. And another explorer gets to increase by 1 pip. So we'll put the green up to a 3 for orange. Over to my orange explorer. Well, I definitely want to do something with this azure paste rift. I'm going to plunge my arms deep into the paste. And I think we'll use blue. So putting that down to a 2. And it says it's place all other explorers onto this node. All explorers gain an insight and a pip up. So I don't know if that's really what I wanted to happen, as all the build sites are over here. But we'll take it. We gain the insight. And a pip up is always welcome. To a 2, this can go to 3. My anomaly, vacuum up fine particles. I need an awareness breakthrough to use it, but if I discard it, all explorers within 1 node would be able to get rid of a distress. Now here is an opportunity. I'm going to perform the support action, pipping my green down to a 2. And another local explorer may remove a distress, and we get to increase our trust. So this goes back up. My distress is gone. And I'm flipping back over to the white side for the super benefits that I like. 1 die left, so I'm going to rest, and that will cost me 1 time. I'm going to move Luna and let's explore over here. Necrotrophic floating jellies. Oh, and this actually has an entangle remove all distress opportunity for 2 pips down. Maybe not so bad. Let's scan for materials. She finds 2. The first thing I'm going to do is traverse, and I can actually move or carry an explorer 1 node with me. So we're going to travel together and we find the Bleeding Clatherus Grove. Oh no. It says when entering, if you don't possess a fungal host, then unfortunately you're going to take a distress. So we both gain a distress. Oh boy. Let's see what we find. We've got infected. And so we lose trust. And because we both got it, we get another infected. And again, lose trust, which means we have to down pip 2 dice. So I guess we'll do a 3 to a 2 and a 3 to a 2. I get to distribute that as I want. Oh, I wish Luna had found this tile. Now, traverse has the option to move or carry. So because blue moved from here to here, it does cost us the time, and I gain the 2 insights. 1, 2, switching over to wonder. Over here, I get my blue, which is an awareness breakthrough, and that gains me my grabby hands special ability. If I pip down, then this turn, instead of Luna scanning her node, then I can scan and immediately gain any resources that are discovered. So that's pretty cool. And I'm going to pretend that I used my touch everything. And for each time symbol you cross on a node edge, using the traverse action, which I just did, I would gain 2 insights. Now I know that's out of order, sorry, but I'm gonna do it. Why not? I deserve it. So we'll pip down blue to a 1, and I gain 2 insights. And I think I'm going to say that I carried her instead of moving, so she won't get the insights, but it won't cost us the time. And next, I'm going to do the support action. So this will remove from here, from my Orange Explorer, this distress. And we gain trust. And so once again, before I even flip them, we're back to the white side. Then I rest, which costs me a time. I'm going to move Luna. She finds an incandescent slime river. And we'll have her look for data. She finds one. Well, we've almost seen the entire planet, and there are spores gathering all the way behind us. Hopefully I remembered to put them all out. It's over to my Orange Explorer, and we are going to travel together. So she's going to be, as an optimist, she's going to use her orange die, pip up to 3, and traverse. We find viscous egg rolls. Oh, viscous egg pools, not egg rolls. Because, I mean, maybe I'm kind of hungry, but it still sounded kind of gross. We're moving across, and we're both going to move. I have move and or carry, as I mentioned before. So we both gain 2 insight. So that means, when I switch to blue, I come to here. I'm going to get a breakthrough in wonder, unlocking my propulsional repulsion ability. Place another local explorer onto an adjacent node, ignoring node edge symbols. Oh, that's so useful. My chemistry breakthrough for wonder for my orange adventurer. Ingest pearlescent slurry. An explorer currently within one node may ignore time symbols on node edges for the remainder of this turn. Fantastic. Okay, really good to know. And over here, I gain my green breakthrough, which is for wonder. Oh, it's blue. Green, yes. And so I now have one of each. And I get my breakthrough card, which is drink reeking sludge. Pretty cool benefits there if I'm willing to spend some material. I've got 2 in my stockpile. Now, apologies everyone, because this table is full. I hope you get to see everything. Hopefully it's just about squeezing in. It's getting a little busy over here. As I have my comprehension in chemistry, that was my breakthrough for the green one. I am building the laboratory. And of course I have to rest. So that goes to a 3 and costs me a time. It has 1 more endurance. Oh boy. I'm going to have Luna move towards us. And she is going to scan the node, this time for data. She finds 2. Resetting my dice and placing out the laboratory. This helps me up the pips of my dice in return for some materials. Oh, it's the blue explorer. So we are going to move 1, leaving behind a fungal cloud. I'm going to have Luna scan the node, this time for materials. She finds 2. I'm going to use my Discharge Hormonal Blast. An explorer within 1 node of you may take a standard traverse action for free. So I'm spending 1 of my power, and then I'm going to bring orange over so they don't start with that distress. Now, I forgot to grab my robotics breakthrough card when I gained this one. So let's take a look. We got deploy mini tractor beam. Luna pulls an explorer from an adjacent node onto her node, ignoring all node age symbols for analyzed data. So I will move Luna towards us. I'm going to do my drink reeking sludge and spend 1 material to pip up all my dice by 1. And yes, I'm going to build the research hut because I do have that robotics breakthrough, so I get to do it for free. I'm going to come over here, ready for the end of my turn. And I'm going to investigate. So I actually get to go up by 1 to a 3. I gain an insight and I get to reveal an opportunity. I'm so bad at remembering to put these tokens out, I'm sorry. We find a temporal spore cloud. A spore cloud envelops you and your mind is pulled in thousands of directions at once. You are everywhere and nowhere, popping up from one environment to another before returning to your body and collapsing to the ground where you lay, dazed. Coming to, you believe you could re-enter the cloud and grab something with potential. Immediately, the active explorer picks up 2 dice. Thank you, thank you. And I need to rest, which costs me a time. Bringing the dice home and placing out the laboratory. So data can now help us gain insights. So we have now completed its fungal out there. So we advance, flipping the card, and I find rumble in the fungal. So a massive embryonic sac has spawned in a nearby swamp, which, you know, good for it. Help yourself, sac. Except now it's churning out crawly, tentacled creatures. We're not sure we like that. However, Luna determines that the tiny tentacled creatures feed on toxic protozoans within the spore clouds, which is great because those were becoming a problem. Also, the tentacles are very, very sticky, which seems pretty on brand for this place. Place the cephalopod nest token on the swampy quagmire node. Then stack all 11 tentacle tokens in a grotesque heap on top. Well, here it is, pretty grotesque. And here is our next task. Tiny tentacles feed on spore clouds. We would like there to be less spore clouds so our suit's filtration systems don't fail. It's a good thing we're scientists and connect these dots. When an explorer leaves the node adjacent to the cephalopod nest, right here, a tiny tentacle sticks to them. Place a tiny tentacle in their inventory. When an explorer with a tiny tentacle enters a node with a spore cloud, they gain distress as normal. Then the tiny tentacle consumes the spore cloud. Replace the black spore cloud marker with the tiny tentacle token. Place the removed spore cloud marker onto a box on this card. Spore clouds cannot spawn on nodes containing a tiny tentacle. So we must deliver tiny tentacles to 4 spore clouds to consume them. When consumed, move the spore cloud markers here. And when all 4 boxes are filled, discard the markers and advance. So that is our next challenge. And at this point, I think I'm going to pause the video. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of what happens on Wenora. I hope you enjoyed watching this and it's giving you at least a little bit of a feel for the game. Thank you for watching. Bye.